It's on, baby! It's on, baby! It's on, baby!
Welcome to Football Friday, brought to you by Donato's Pizza, Subs, and Salads. The field of remaining teams getting cut down in each week in half, and now it's down to the regional semifinals. I'm Eric Elton.
And I'm James Ryder.
Let's start with our game of the week here on Football Friday. And for the second straight week, we let you pick our game. James posted a poll on Twitter. It got nearly 1,000 votes.
And the winner for this week, it's D5 showdown between Brookville and Greenview. Blue Devils still unbeaten at 11-0.
Meanwhile, the Rams looking to get to the regional final for the first time ever.
Blue Devils, though, they're trying for their first trip to the regional final since the year 2000. Now, if you expected Greenview to even make it this far to start at the start of the season. Opening drive of the game, Harry Hall scores from a few yards out. Blue Devils strike first, and they are fired up as it's 7-0 Brookville. After forcing a 3-and-out, back on offense again, and it's Hall scoring from a few yards out, making it look easy, 14-zip. Now Greenview goes 3-and-out again. Hall scores another short touchdown. Brookville looking unstoppable right now, 21-0. And Greenview's offense had no room to operate. In the first quarter, they had negative yards offensively. In the second, Blue Devils, well, they give the rock to Austin Delk, finishes off another machine-like drive, 28-zip. Now we're talking a lot about Harry Hall, but don't forget about Bailey Wallen. He's the team's leading rusher. 36-yard run, nearly scored. He would get the touchdown on the very next play, and Brookville is up 35-zip. Well, you know what they say, when it rains, it pours. Even the punt's not going right for Greenview. Brookville did not allow the Rams to have a first down in the entire half. Harry Hall, he had 13 rushing touchdowns in the regular season. He had 3 last week and 4 tonight. Brookville rolls through with a 49-7 win. So they await the winner of Coldwater and CHCA. The Cavaliers, well, all they do is win. Coldwater's played in 6 straight state title games, and in the first quarter, it's Jack Hemmelgarn finding Craig Shanehair, 25-yard pickup. Then it's Hemmelgarn to Chris Post, but he loses the ball. CHCA recovers the fumble. Well, Coldwater would get it back, and it's Hemmelgarn turning around, hand it off to Aaron Harlemert. He finds the end zone. Coldwater's up 7-0, and right now you're thinking, here we go again.
The floodgates are about to open.
Well, second quarter, Hemmelgarn down the middle. He finds Chris Post 35 yards on this play. And then it's going to be Hemmelgarn to Tyler Bax. He breaks a few tackles, gets in for the touchdown. Coldwater's up 14-zip. And like we said, it looks like it could be a runaway. But CHCA, they were able to hang around here in the first half. Touchdown run makes it 14-7. But 25 seconds before the half, Hemmelgarn to Craig Shanehair. That sets up what we're going to see right next. Kyle McKibben with a touchdown. Coldwater runs away in the third quarter. They get it 44-14.
Shanehair has great hair, by the way. From there, we move on to Division III. 2 years ago, Tippecanoe and Trotwood met in what was an incredible showdown.
It was the regional final. It was the deepest run ever for the Red Devils, and it was much more exciting than you might think by looking at the 25-7 scoreline. Now, Tip's performance turned a lot of heads because few thought they would challenge the eventual state runner-up as much as they did that year.
This year, the two teams meet at Wayne High School at Hyde Camp Stadium. If you tuned in each week, you might think that this is a replay, but it's not. Ravion Hargrove is insane in a good way. Breaks a tackle and off to the races. 80-yard touchdown run. Just like that, Trotwood up 6-0. Hashtag big play Ray. But Tip finds an answer. Trevor Staggs finds a hole, and he's into the end zone from 25 yards out. That ties things up. But the game plan was simple for Trotwood. Give the ball to your best player, and that's number 6. Punches it in from 3 yards out. But Tip keeping pace early on. Faking out our camera guy on this one, Trevor Staggs. 50 yards this time. So they're kind of going blow for blow, our Hargrove and Staggs. It's 12 all. But, yeah, I don't know if I want to go blow for with Ravion Hargrove. Even though he might not be big in stature, he makes the big plays all the time. Cutting back across the field, shaking a couple of tackles, and then there's a broken tackle. And I'm just going to run into the end zone. Yep, that's what I do.
Just
Ravion Hargrove, 70-yard touchdown on 18-12 Trotwood. And, oh, look, Ravion Hargrove scoring another touchdown. This kid is ridiculous. 35 carries, 371 yards, 5 touchdowns. He scored all of Trotwood's points in a 33-19 win.
34 scores on the season for him. And he was hurt for 3 games.
He might become our first ever 3-time player of the week. Oh, my goodness. All right, Trotwood win sets up a possible regional final with Wapak if the Redskins can beat Mount Healthy. It's a low-scoring game early. That was Tristan Meyer connecting on a 41-yard field goal to put the Redskins up 3-0 early in the first. And then in the second half, Wapak's Cameron Locke had the nice run up the middle, breaking a couple of tackles. He'd lose the ball at the end of the run, but the Redskins do recover, and that would lead to this field goal game. Meyer at it again, this time from 37 yards out, puts Wapak up 6-0 in the third. Mount Healthy facing a 4th down, and they go with a fake punt. David Montgomery to Brian Cook gives them a fresh set of downs. Montgomery will then find Darrell Williams, who makes the grab for the touchdown, first touchdown of the game. 7-6 Mount Healthy. Wapak, though, wins a tight one, 12-7, so it is a rematch with Trotwood, which won a 34-28 thriller in double OT last year. Coming up next on Football Friday, Minster's looking for back-to-back state championships, but first, Wildcats need a win to get to the regional semifinal. Welcome back to Football Friday. Minster won its second championship in school history last season, and that was at the D6 level. So this year, the Wildcats actually dropped down to Division 7. Has another championship within reach. Minster taking on Riverside in the regional semifinal. They play this one up at Sydney Memorial Stadium. Scoreless still in the second quarter. You know the fakes are good when it gets our camera guy a little bit confused. Hayden Robinson ends up with it. 30-yard gainer down into the red zone. Robinson will then continue to carry the load on this run. He finds Pater to put the first points on the board, and Riverside takes the 6-0 lead. Time for Minster to wake up, though. They have an answer. Josh Nixon, he even wanted Jacob Dews, and he comes down with it for a 35-yard catch, setting up Minster. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Nixon firing again to Dews. Nice grab there. Way to use the hands. It's for 6. Minster takes a 7-6 lead and doesn't look back. A bit closer than we expected, but Minster's on to the regional final at this point. All that matters is win in advance. 21-6, the final. Don't forget, if you missed any of the highlights from tonight or you just want to watch them again and again and again and again, you'll be able to find them all on our website. Head to fox45now.com, click on the Football Friday tab under the Sports tab, and we will post the highlights from each game after every show shortly after we're off the air.
So Minster's quest to potentially a third state championship will run through the winner of Lehman Catholic and Fort Recovery. The Indians are in the playoffs for only the second time in program history, but the Cavaliers will seek their 5th regional final appearance since the year 2007. Last year, in Fort Recovery's playoff debut, they lost in the same round that they're in tonight. They're trying to take it one step further this year. First possession of the game, play action. Caleb Martin rolling out, finds Ryan Braun in the end zone. Fort Recovery grabs a quick 6-0 lead. Well, their defense gets a 4th down stop, and on the first play of their second possession, Martin heaves it up to Wes Wenning. Winning the jump ball. How about Wenning? 12-0 in a hurry. Now, Lehman would start to settle in, and it starts on the defensive side of things. Martin looking to pass. Jared Rourke steps in front of it for the interception. That gives the Cavaliers the rock. And the offense appears to come to life. Jacob Earhart up the middle, 26 yards into Indian territory, all the way down to the 25. Very next play, Stephen Monin, the QB keeper, and then finally pitches it to Dylan Arnold. That's a 19-yard pickup. Cavaliers are at the 6. But Fort Recovery keeps them out of the end zone in the second quarter. Andrew Stocker chases down Monin for a sack, and Fort Recovery advances to play Minster with the 20-6 win over Lehman Catholic tonight up in Lyman. Now, you can get involved with us on Twitter. Tweet us your pictures, videos, whatever from the game that you're at ABC22 Fox 25, or you can tweet us, the score. And you can follow myself, James R2245 on Twitter, and then Eric is at Eric2245.
All right, it's that time of Football Friday. We're looking each week for the loudest students out there. It's our SVG Motors Student Section of the Week. We're getting down to fewer and fewer teams at this point, but The honors goes to the Brookville Devil's Den. It is the second time they've won it this year.
In fairness, though, the other win was our rain out.
Yes,
so
it was
they
the
were
rain
basically
out.
having a party under the stands.
And they were
won before.
dancing, doing a rain dance underneath the bleachers. This time they got to actually watch football. They were up and bouncing up and down, having a good time. So very deserving here. And Brookville will be moving on to week 3 if you missed it earlier in the show. They pummeled Greenview in this game. So we will see Brookville again, and maybe they'll get another chance at an honor. All right, our scoreboard is powered by ScoreStream. Time to get you caught up with some of the scores from across the Miami Valley here in Week 12. And in Week 12, if you missed it earlier in the show, Trotwood beating Tippecanoe 33-19. Ravion Hargrove scored every touchdown for Trotwood, all 5 of them, and rushed for almost 400 yards in that game. Wapak, that's who Trotwood will meet in the regional final. 12-7 win over Mount Healthy. Some more scores. You look at the bracket now. So Trotwood advances to play Wapakoneta. Once again, this is a rematch of the Region 10 final from last year, which Trotwood won in double overtime.
And when we move on to the next set of brackets, we've got Coldwater and Brookville meeting up in Division 5, Region 18. That'll offer a very interesting matchup because Coldwater, well, they just do what Coldwater does, is win. Brookville, though, looks like they could have a legit shot at knocking off the Cavs.
We mentioned earlier that Minster goes down from Division 6 to Division 7. Minster won the state championship at the Division 6 level last year. We'll try to do so in D7. Of course, Minster and Marion Local flip-flop this year, so there's still a very good chance that both those teams will be state champions this year. It'll just be at a different level, so we'll see if Minster can get another win in the regional final.
Well, arguably the biggest game of the weekend actually comes tomorrow night at Centerville High School.
That's where I'll be. It might seem a little odd for Wayne and Springboro to play at the home of both of their rivals, but what's even more unusual is that these two haven't played each other in the new millennium. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about, but they're still quite familiar with one another. They scrimmage and play 7-on-7s every year, so it's not like they're complete strangers with one another, but you've also got Springboro head coach Ryan Wilhite. Well, he came to the Panthers after coaching at Wayne for 6 seasons, so he knows that Springboro, in order for them to win their second ever Division I playoff game, well, the Panthers, they're going to have to bring their best Saturday night.
Well, they're solid at every level. I mean, on offense and defense, they're good up front, got great skill, quarterback plays good, they're explosive. We understand that challenge, but I think we got to be us. I mean, we got to go out there and we can't make mistakes. We got to play the kind of football we've played the last several weeks and what we were able to do last Saturday night and see if our best is good enough. We've got to still have a way to find balance in our offense. I mean, that is who we are. We're a balanced offense. We got to be able to do that. And defensively, we've got to kind of limit their big plays. It's tough to say you're going to eliminate all of them, but we can't get big played here out of the game. We got to be able to sustain a little bit.
All right. Doug is making tonight's delivery from Donato's Pizza, Subs, and Salads. He's brought us their newest pizza. It's the Pepperoni Bacon Duo, which includes hardwood smoked bacon, Canadian bacon, Donato's famous heritage pepperoni, and aged smoked provolone cheese. It comes on 4 different size options, plus a gluten-free version. Any size pepperoni bacon duo pizza now on sale for just $1 more than the price of a 1-topping pizza. Doug also brought along some of our Donato's favorites, which include the party-size boneless wings, the fresh Italian garden salad, a couple orders of their fantastic 3-cheese garlic breads, and the famous Donato's 100-piece pepperoni pizza. Call your neighborhood Donato's Pizza, Subs, and Salads or order online at Donatos.com for lunch, dinner, late night, or any of the big games that are on TV this weekend, including the Buckeyes on ABC 22 against Illinois at noon. It's all from Donato's Pizza, Subs, and Salads, where every piece is important. All right, coming up next on Football Friday, we head to the hard court, opening night of college basketball and the start of a highly anticipated season of Flyer basketball. I'm pumped. The college basketball season's underway, and there's a ton of anticipation and optimism for this year's team. A lot of new pieces on this year's UD team, but Flyers open at home, riding a 22-game win streak at the arena. Archie Miller honored before the game for winning a gold medal over the summer with the USA U19 team. He was an assistant on his brother's staff. Name of the game early on for Dayton, defense. Play started by Scoochie Smith. Kyle Davis gets the steal, back to Scooch, and he fittingly scores the first points of the season on a transition bucket. Scoochie just getting started, though. This time pokes the ball away, and he's in the clear. I can't remember a time in a game when he's actually dunked. He does it here.
I've seen 0 Scoochie Smith dunks.
It wasn't too emphatic, but it was nice. But that's not all. Another inbounds play, and Scoochie steals it again. Flyers run to the floor in transition. Scooch to Daryl Davis, and one. UD opens the game on an 11-0 run. A lot of new faces this year, but none shine brighter tonight than St. Henry native Ryan Mikesell. All he did was score a game-high 21 points on 7 of 9 shooting, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. He looked like he belonged. Charles Cook sat out last year as a transfer. He didn't have the best shooting night in his long-awaited debut, but gets the and one here, 7.6 rebounds for him. Only other player in double figures with Mikesell was Daryl Davis. Baby D scored 12 in the first half, finished with 15 to go with 8 rebounds, and the Flyers cruise in their opener, 84-53.
Wright State wins its opener at the NIU Showcase. Raiders top South Dakota 77-69. Behind Thurgood Marshall standout Mark Allstork's 27 points in 28 minutes off the bench. He sat out last year after transferring from my alma mater of Ball State and Miami. They lost to Xavier by 9 tonight.
All right, UD, the women also opening the season. They did it at 11 a.m. because it was school day. One of the loudest atmospheres you'll see, roughly 9,500 screaming kids, and they had plenty to cheer about, especially Amber Dean. Lauren Canantelli missed that 3, but then Dean came flying out of nowhere for the putback. She had a game-high 19, or a team-high 19, I should say. We were disabled later in the quarter because the women now play 10-minute quarters. That was Sasha Grant Allen with the hoop in the arm. 10 points for her on the day. 4 total Flyers in double figures. Kelly Austria, not one of them, but she buried the quarter triple there. And UD takes the opener against Yale, 81-75. Coming up next on Football Friday, we will unveil our Play of the Week. Time now for our Play of the Week here on Football Friday. This guy is a regular here. Ravion Hargrove of Trotwood. This is a 70-yard touchdown run, which starts on one side of the field, ends up on the other side of the field, and ends up in the end zone. Hargrove ended up putting up some ridiculous numbers on the night. He rushed for almost 400 yards and 5 touchdowns in the win for Trotwood. Our scoreboard is powered by ScoreStream. We're going to look ahead to tomorrow night's playoff games. The biggest game of the night locally, right here in Division 1. Wayne and Springboro taking on one another at Centerville High School. All of these games are 7 o'clock kicks. At Division 4 level, it is Alter and Fenwick, a rematch of the only loss of the season for Alter. Fenwick still undefeated. These two will meet up at West Carrollton at Dock Stadium.
Well, Clinton Massey and Indian Hill, they await the winner of that Alter-Fenwick matchup in D4.
And then Kenton Ridge taking on Bellevue, and the winner of that game will take on Bishop, Hartley, or Ottawa Glandorf.
So we go to Division 7. Marion Local looking to 5-Pete. They will play West Liberty Salem and get the winner of Jefferson, Mechanicsburg. Whoever wins each of those games will play one another.
That's going to do it for Football Friday. James Ryder, I'm Eric Elkin. We'll see you at 11:15 on ABC 22.